So we have if, right? Then else if, and then else, right? So when do we use if? When do we use if? If we have to
Or
check one condition,
condition.
right? One condition, just one condition. For example, let's say if you score average more than 50, okay, let's say if you score more than 50, okay, I'll put that as comment because this is not the statement. If average is greater than 50, then you display pass, right? That's all. So you put avg equal to 60, and I'm going to check if. Okay, generally you can put bracket. This is always good practice to put bracket. avg greater than equal to 50, bracket open. So everything that is related to the if has to be within the bracket. Okay, here you will give like print congratulations, or you say print how are you doing, right? Now these, any number of statement you can give, right? I can say when a equal to 5 50 65, b equal to 55, and print a plus b. So these statements will be executed only if average is more than 50. So in this case, of course, average is more than 50, right? So when I run it, you will get congratulations, how are you? Okay, and then print a plus b, which is 120. All three print is printed because we have this condition is true. So this whole thing is true. Now if I make it as 40, okay, then when I run it, you won't see anything, right? Nothing is printed, right? Because this condition became false and it did not go, and it went to the last line of the code, right? Now you can give multiple conditions as well. I can say avg greater than equal to 50 and avg, let's say less than 90, right? In fact, you know, what we do is if avg is more than say 100, okay, average cannot be more than 100, let's assume. So if average is greater than 100 and average is less than 0, okay, it cannot be negative, okay, you can assume. So you will say here print, oops, I meant to delete it, okay, print invalid average value. So for if, it doesn't really matter how many statements you give or how many logical, did we make a mistake? If average, oh, okay, in Python we write and, in R we write and, right, this way. Okay, okay. So see here, it doesn't matter how many logical statements you give, it should get evaluated to either true or false. In this case, average is 40, average is not more than 100 and not less than 0. So it, of course, it is valid. That's why this part did not get printed. If I put a minus sign here, if I make minus 40, of course, this is invalid average and you'll get, oops, what happened? Okay. Now you tell me, what is this evaluated to? Average greater than 100. Is it true or false?
False.
False.
False. Average less than 0. Is it true or false?
True.
True.
False and true will give us
False.
False.
exactly. That's why it is false. This did not get printed. We have to say or. either this or that. So it means that we have to give or here, 5 sign. Okay, if you want both conditions to be true, that's when we give and. Now here we are saying either if average is greater than 100 or less than 0. In this case, this is false and this is true, but false or true will give us true. Now when you run it, you will get invalid average value. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, so this is it. Now, when we have two conditions, I want to add another condition. So let's say if okay, we'll say if average is more than 50, we'll print pass. So see here, in this case, I have to write else. Okay, so one thing I have to keep in mind in our programming is that okay, so else has to be along with same bracket here. When you close the bracket, because we want it to be part of the same if else statement, right? That's why else should be next to this bracket. So if I do this, it will give error. Okay, the else and this closing bracket has to be in same line. You have to keep that in mind, and this is true in case of R, not so in Java, C++. Yes, but here it you have to keep in mind that we have to put else along with the closing bracket. Okay, and here what I'll do is, okay, I'll say, okay, print, okay, average value is valid, and we are now calculating your grade. Okay, so if of course if I say here you get invalid grade, and if I remove the minus sign, then it is plus, right? So when I run it, you will get average value is valid, and we are now calculating your grade, right? Great. Okay, so okay, so we are in else. So when you have two conditions, okay, you give else. Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate what is called as nested if else. Okay, so you have if else. Inside if else, if you write another if else, it becomes nested. If else inside if or else is called nested. If inside if, okay, it's called nested if else. Okay, so here, okay, first I'm checking if the value is valid or not. If the value is valid, we will calculate the grade. So I'm writing new set of if else, okay, and I'm choosing to write within this else. I could have done it here, or I'm doing it here. Okay, so what is the difference if you do outside and inside? Okay, we'll see that. Okay. Okay, so see there is a separate topic called as algorithm design. Okay, and if you get time, you guys read on internet what is algorithm design. Algorithm design means the algorithms, you could implement certain things in multiple ways, more than one way. Definitely, I'm going to show you two ways to do it here itself. Okay, which is the better way? So algorithm design says the one that takes less memory space and time to execute, that is best. Okay, so and that's what, when you keep on practicing, when you keep on doing more and more programs, you'll, first thing is getting the logic right. Okay, okay, right now our focus when you are doing for the first time, okay, especially programming or even learning a new language, your first step would be to get the logic, and that's what we are going to do it. But same logic could be implemented, and definitely there are more than one way to do things, right? One way is you hold your nose straight away, with two fingers. Other way is you turn your hand around and hold your nose. Holding nose both ways is valid, but one is less painful, other is very painful, right? So we should go with less painful method. So in programming, what is less painful is one that takes less number of time to execute and less memory, okay, to run. Okay, so of course, like, and when you see, when you're doing on a simple program, it doesn't, you won't be able to see much of a difference in processing time. But let's say, you are designing a Amazon like website where thousands of users will be logged in at the same time. Okay, one small, 0.1 second, okay, amplified into 1,000, right? It can result into seconds of delays or sometimes minutes of delays, right? So that's why the focus, as you gain more experience in programming, your focus would be to design a algorithm. Okay, what we are doing is called algorithm. Algorithm is nothing but is a, the structured process of solving a problem. We are trying to solve a problem. We are trying to find great value, right? Okay, so let's do it. So now I'm going to check if AVG greater than 50. If AVG greater than 50, I'm going to say print you have passed. Okay, and what I'm going to do is here else. Okay, I'm going to say print you have failed. Okay, so now, okay, so I've written if else here. Now what I'm going to do is, instead of writing if else, let me create those grading parameters that we discussed yesterday, right? Not yesterday, day before yesterday. So here I'm going to say greater than equal to 80, greater than equal to 80, and I'll say you have got grade. Okay, and I'm going to copy this statement, Control C, grade A. Okay, now if AVG greater than equal to 60, I'm going to say, okay, this should be else if, right? When you're writing second if condition, it should be else if, right? And I'm going to say here, you got grade B, right? Right, I'll write one more. Okay, here else if AVG greater than equal to 40, okay, I'm going to say print, I have a clipboard, grade C, right? And else, okay, else, okay, you got grade D, let's say, okay, 4 grades. Okay, so average equal to 40, and you run it. So you have got grade C, right? Which makes sense, correct? Okay. Now, same thing, what I can do is, I can do it in a different way. Okay, I will write 2 different if statement, and we'll do it. Okay, so same thing, and this one, right, I will do Control X, and I will put it outside. Now even this will work. Okay, unexpected. Okay, so the extra if should be here, right? So this is closed. So if, else if, okay, it's correct, right? Why it says extra? Let's run this and see. Okay, yeah, you got grade C. I think I clicked this one. Okay, so I got grade C. Okay, so both are performing exact same thing, but which one is better way to do it? Okay, so I'm going to give you a small trick. Okay, the more number of lines you execute, more time it will take, isn't it? So I'm going to create, let's say, scenario 1, I'll call it scenario 1. Okay, scenario 1, we'll run the first one, above 1, and we'll see. So if average is 40, okay, I'm going to give a tab space here. Let's say, okay, here I'll give AVG value. Okay, write AVG. If AVG is 90, if AVG is say 70, if AVG is 50, if AVG is 30. Let's see how many lines it takes to execute, right? So I'm going to close it here and Control C, tab, scenario 2. Okay. Okay. So let's see this. Tell me, okay, how many lines will it be called if you put average equal to 90? Let's do it. If I say average equal to 90, okay, then let's start counting. This will be checked. If will be checked, correct? So this is the line number 1. Okay, first line called. It is called. Then since this is false, it will not go inside. It will go to else. So line number 5, line number 7, line number 8. Correct? Line number 8. After line number 8, it goes to line number 9. Okay. So you have 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's it, right? And it will stop here. So you have 5 lines of code that got executed. Okay, 5 lines of code got executed. Now let's see for scenario 2. Okay, it will check for line number 23. Yes. Then it go to else, 2, print 3. Okay, then it will come and check average greater than 80. Yes. 4, got grade B, 5. Okay, it got 5 lines of code. Correct? And everything else is false, right? So it will not check. So here also 5 lines of code. And if you see, most probably it will be 6, 6, 7. Okay, so almost same number of lines of code will be executed. Now let's say we take minus 100 or minus 1 also. Then what happens? Let's see how many lines of code got executed. So if we make average here as minus 90 or whatever, okay, it comes to line number 5, 1, print, it will print invalid average, 2, and that's all. None of these will be called again, right? Because it is in else. Okay, so if first condition is true, it will not go to else, isn't it? So how many lines got executed?
2.
2 lines. Did you get this point? Okay, this is important. Okay, just to just to understand it. Okay, we are not going to spend much time on this, but just to understand how, okay, which way is better. Okay, and if I tell you this is better, you'll ask me how it is better, right? So so that's why just look at it. So average equal to minus 90, and here it will be true, right? Average is less than 0, so this whole thing will be true. So it will go inside this if. Okay, so invalid average value, it will print. So 1, 2, just 2 lines of code will be executed. Just 2 lines of code will be executed, right? Okay, so 2 lines of code is executed. But let's say in scenario 2, okay, so this will be executed just like it got executed. Line number 2 will be executed. Now this is end. Next if is starting. So it will check this value also false, check this value also false. Okay, 3. Okay, it will go and print grade D. Let's say you don't want to print grade D, you want to you add one more line here. So here this logic is wrong because we are doing a different line. Okay, so it will print grade D, else is grade D. Here, okay, else is grade D. Okay, because we are in else, which means that average is more than 0, already already valid. We don't have to check for invalid here because we are in else. We already check for if is true, if it is invalid, if it's true, it will stop there. It will not go any further down. But here, what we have done, we have separated invalid and valid, two separate if block. So yes, this will take two, but now since this is one separate if block, it will also start checking here. So one, it has already checked 5-6 lines of code, and still logic is wrong because we are putting else d no. Okay, what we'll have to do is we'll have to say something like this: else if avg greater than 0, you got grade D, and then here you will say else print invalid. Okay, so now you tell me which method is better, first method or second method? You listening,
Second
guys?
method. Second method is better, sir.
Sorry,
Second method is better, sir.
so Naushad said second method. What does Gauri say?
I also think second method's better.
Keshav?
I also think it's second.
Okay, now tell me why it is better. Three of you said, right? Now tell me, why do you think this is better?
Because here we need to work less.
See,
Need to.
if we have to work, is it good or bad?
I mean, didn't you say the point is to like make it as less time to execute as
Exactly.
possible?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's less work. So
No, if you
second is
do more work, will that reduce your time or increase your time?
it's gonna increase.
Right? If I ask you
Yeah.
to do two problems, you'll take more time than doing one problem, right? So that is one, I have to write one extra line of code. Okay, and second, you see, even the execution you see here in first scenario, if it is if it is valid, both are valid, then more or less both are same. Okay, you don't have much to choose from. Okay, both are same, almost same time. You saw we took 5 and here also 5, right? And even others also it will be same. Okay, others also if you try, it may be 7 or 6. Okay, something like that. More or less it will be same. Okay, because you have to check for one extra if condition, right? So it will be 6. It will be 6. Okay, 7. You're checking one more else if 7, right? More or less same. Okay, but if it is invalid, here first scenario only 2 step. This entire thing is not touched because this entire thing is in the else, right? So if your average is invalid, why do you want to check other things? You don't have to check for other things, right? It's invalid. If average is not valid, then there is no point of comparing for which grade it is, right? But in second case, since these are two separate blocks, okay, so it will check here. Fine, it got 2 steps, but unnecessary you are making it to check here. Unnecessary you are making it to check this one, isn't it? This is totally unnecessary. Okay, if it is invalid, this should stop there. Why do you want to proceed further to check if if grade is valid or not? Did you get it? So in this case, if
Yeah.
your grade is invalid, you will end up doing 7-8 lines of code. First case, only 2 lines of code and you got the result. Okay, in second, yes, you did get the result, but still you have to perform those additional checks. Okay, so for example, okay, let's say you are going to meet your friend, okay, and you know which society your friend lives, but you don't know the house number, let's say. Okay, these are like house numbers. We don't know, right, which else if will be called, because it depends upon the value. So first case, you go, you knock at the first door. Okay, that's not your friend. You'll go and knock at second door, third door, fourth door. Okay, and let's say you meet your friend at the fifth door. Okay, so you meet your friend, spend some time, come back home. Okay, second scenario. Okay, you go. Okay, you meet your friend, but again you're going and checking at other doors. Do you need to do that? No. You met your friend, you should come out, right? You don't have to, okay, go and check for other doors. Yes, if you do not find it, you're going one by one. That's what happening here. You're going, you're checking for 5 doors, then 6 doors, then 7 doors. Okay, but here, you found second door itself, you found that your friend is there. Then why do you need to check for other doors? Did you get this concept?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Right? Yes. Or what you can do is, you can you can do it on pen and paper and see. Okay, so okay, generally, okay, and I can say almost 100% of the time, your inner loops, or not inner loops we are not doing, if else. The nested if else is a better, faster way of doing things than writing multiple conditions. Okay, so this is also achieving same logic, and on scenario 1, the above one is also achieving same logic. Your program will be perfectly fine, you get same output. But okay, now generally when you talk about algorithm design, they'll talk about best case scenario and worst case scenario. Best case scenario is when it takes least number of steps. Worst case is when it takes maximum number of steps. So in this case, if we look at, so this is 90 is the best case scenario, correct? And -1 is the worst case scenario. So in best case scenario, both algorithms are performing same. Okay, when you have best case scenario, when you have average 90, 95, 85, okay, there is no difference between two logic. Both will perform with same, take same time. But if there's a worst case scenario, when you have invalid average, that's when your scenario 2 will take long time. Okay, 6, 7, 8 times it can take. Okay, so scenario 1 is almost like 4 times, 5 times faster than your scenario 2. So nested if else is always a better choice, okay, than this. Okay, now I want to give you 3 assignments. Okay, and I want you to do the code. Okay, I have already given you one assignment and nobody is talking to me. Okay, as if I have forgotten about the assignment. I have not forgotten. Okay, see, assignments, this is my rule. My rule is, I don't mind if you don't get it. Okay, we are all here to learn. So not getting it is fine, but not trying is not accepted. I don't
Are
like
we
if you don't try.
are we supposed to send you the code of
No,
it?
if you tell me that you have done it and you got it, I will trust you. Okay, but if you say that no, I did not get it and this is what I have done, I'll help you. But if you don't do it, I'm not going to help you. You do it, you make some attempt and share your screen. I'll help you to fix your problem, fix your code. But if you don't make an attempt, I will not tell you anything. I want you to try, and if it is good, if you get it, fine. Okay, we don't have to go back there. But let's say you did it and you think it's right, but you have some doubt. Even then you can show me that this is what I have done, is it correct? Okay, and then I can give you my opinion. If you don't do it, I'm not going to talk about it. I want you to make an attempt. Even if it is 3 lines, 4 lines, it's fine. Okay, even if it is 20% complete, it's fine. Anything less than 0%, I don't like. For that purpose, don't write some print statement and say that you tried and you're not getting. You have to have some thought process, right? So
Yes, sir.
so try and tell me. I will share my, I'll ask you to share your screen and we will work together to fix your code. Right?
Okay, sir.
I had only
Yeah.
one okay, two okay.
Yeah.
Right, Keshav? Yeah, thanks. Make an attempt and show me, and I will help you to fix it. But don't, postpone it. Okay, don't think that okay, I will do it tomorrow or day after. Tomorrow never comes, right? You know that. And second thing is, we will be talking about new topic every day, and if you don't practice it now, you will be too far behind. I don't mind, okay, if you have to take extra 10 classes, extra 20 classes, okay, but I want you to learn the concept. Okay, one. Second thing is, we are all here to learn. You don't have to be shy, or you don't have to feel anything bad about it. You don't know, you don't know, right? We are here to learn, right? You don't know, that's why you are here in the class. Okay. If you had
Yes, sir.
known, then why would have been here? You wouldn't have been here. So you should be shameless when you are learning. Okay. You learn, right? You are in the class because you want to learn, right? So don't feel bad about it. But I want you to make an attempt. We are doing class only for 1 hour, maximum 1.5 hours. Okay. And you can easily take out another 1 hour from your side, isn't it?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So please
Yeah.
practice all the notes. I have, the class notes I share on the WhatsApp. Go through it, practice once, do the assignment, show me the assignment. Okay. Assignments are supposed to be little tough. Okay. Because we are here to learn, and when you do it, you will be, you feel so happy about it, I'm telling you. When you see the program, you'll find it very easy. When you start doing it, that's when you'll get doubts. And that's why I want you to practice. Okay. So will you practice?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yes, we have only 15 minutes. We'll end it here in 15 minutes. So I'm going to talk about 3 problems, okay, which I want you to try today. So you have 3 problems, and 3 problems from the basics. So 6 problems you'll have an assignment. Okay.
Oh,
So okay, it's fine if you can't attempt all the 6, but at least try to attempt 2, 3, so that you will reduce your backlog. Okay.
okay, sir.
Okay. So the 3 problems that I want to give today is, one is, let's say, you take 3 sides of a triangle. Okay. And say if the triangle is scalene, equilateral, or scalene, equilateral. What's the other one? Isosceles. Right? Scalene is all 3 sides are different. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Equilateral means all 3 sides are same. So if I take sides as side 1, side 2, side 3, if side 1 equal to side 2 and side 2 equal to side 3, that means it's a equilateral. If any two sides are equal, third side is not, we call it as isosceles. Isosceles, I think spelling is correct. And if sides are not equal, we call it as scalene. Okay, so add following checks to the above program. Check if the sides are valid. Okay, what it says is, the higher side, okay, so here, okay, so that's one, and two sides are equal, and also if the triangle ANGLE, right? If the triangle forms equilateral triangle. Okay, what does it mean? Check if the sides are valid. Okay, it means that, okay, even if you know, this means that the higher side, maximum side, should be smaller than the sum of other two sides. So if the higher side is C, it has to be smaller than A plus B. Okay, so for example, if I have to form, if I give A equal to 5, B equal to 6, and C equal to 12. Tell me, is this possible? A triangle with 5, 6, 12 sides?
No.
No. Okay, because the higher side is 12, so it has to be less than 5 plus 6, 11. Okay, it can be equal to, okay, it can be. So this is possible. This triangle with 5, 6, 11 is possible. Okay, and otherwise, okay, so if I make it 15 here, what do you think?
True.
Yes, 15 and 11 plus 6 is 17, right? So 17, okay, is bigger. 15 is smaller than the sum of two sides, right? So this is possible to get a triangle with 5, 15, 11 and 6, but it is not possible to get, okay, than say 26 and 11. Okay, so that is the check you have to perform. Okay, that's the first check. And also, okay, for equilateral triangle, the condition is C square is equal to A square plus B square. What do you call that? Pythagoras theorem. Right? Keshav, have you done Pythagoras theorem?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the Pythagoras theorem, right? So is it, check for this Pythagoras theorem here. Okay, that means your triangle is equilateral, not equilateral. What am I talking about? Right angle triangle. Right angle triangle. Okay, and the triangle forms right angle. So right angle triangle means it's C square equal to A square plus B square. Okay, and the third problem which I wanted to do was, okay, take three values and arrange in decreasing order. Okay, so that means if I enter 4, 9, 6, 5. If I enter this, its output should be something like 9, 5, 4. Okay, and let's say if I give 10, 10, 10, then output should be 10, 10, 10, right? So our output should be the highest number, second highest number, third highest number. And only check for three numbers. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rashad?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. I'll send these questions on the chat as well, guys. After the session end, I'll send you on chat, so you'll have it on the chat. But I think I mean, there's no point taking screenshot. I'll send you anyways. So try to do it. Try to do it at least one problem for tomorrow to show me. Okay.
Yes,
If you get
yes,
it,
sir.
you tell me that I got it, or you tell me that I got stuck and this is what I have done and I'm not able to proceed further. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Great. Try this. Okay. I should be doing something, right? What shall we do? So if we do these three problems, right, we'll be done with the if else condition. Okay. So if else is used to check for a condition and then perform certain tasks. Before if else, what we did was we did all the tasks without any problem in sequential manner. But sometimes you'll have to do based on some condition. So if else is the way we check condition and then we decide what to do. Okay. And we saw nested if else. We even saw how to use logical operator, right? Line number 23. Okay. Logical operator. We have used or. Right. So three ways you can perform. One, just having one condition. Second, you have two condition and you perform, you put this logical operator either and or you have nested condition. Okay. So my suggestion would be when we have when we are doing three, maybe first one you can do using logical operator. That means you can use ampersand, pipe, okay, to check the condition. Here, use nested condition. Okay, we'll end it here today. And tomorrow, if you guys, tomorrow we will take time to solve these three problems. And with that, we will end our conditions. We'll get into next topic. Shall we end it here? Any question before we end?
No, sir.
No.
Huh? Okay. Enjoy your time, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sir. Thank you so very much.
Yeah,
Sir.
sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, and see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.